Hi, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Mary Ann Howard, and welcome to the second week of our East End Influential Women series. Today, we're going to talk about Jeanette Edwards Rattray, a woman who was an integral part of the East Hampton community. Jeanette was born and raised in East Hampton, where her ancestors settled nearly 400 years ago. Her grandfather, called Captain Josh Edwards, was a deep-sea whaleman who traveled extensively and kept a journal of his adventures. His adventurous spirit was passed on to Rattray, who traveled to Turkey, China, and the Philippines. She wrote for a newspaper while living in Manila, but left that job to move back to East Hampton. In 1925, she married Arnold E. Rattray, who grew up in California and shared her love of traveling. She and her husband both worked at the East Hampton Star, the town's local newspaper, for 10 years. Jeanette interviewed many of the remarkable people who came to East Hampton, such as John Drew and Childe Hassam. In 1935, Jeanette and Arnold bought the East Hampton Star, Mr. Rattray serving as the editor and Jeanette as the associate editor. Throughout the years, their daughter and two sons periodically worked on the paper, truly making it a family business. When her husband died in 1954, Jeanette inherited the paper. She wrote a weekly column called Looking Them Over in the paper for over 50 years. The column was written conversationally and covered everything from the people of East Hampton, both current and past, to stories about her various travels. As a whole, Looking Them Over served as a commentary on the social life of East Hampton. In the opinion of Rattray herself, according to a leaflet from one of her books, her column established some sort of record for endurance on her part and on the part of her readers. Rattray was an unofficial historian of East Hampton and wrote several books on the history of the town. Whale Off, the Story of American Shore Whaling, was a book written through collaboration between Rattray and her father, Everett G. Edwards, that specifically discussed whaling off the South Fork of Long Island. She also wrote two books about various shipwrecks that occurred throughout the history of the United States. Ship Ashore, a record of maritime disasters off Montauk and eastern Long Island, 1640 to 1955, was published in 1966 and focused on Long Island, while Perils of the Port of New York, Maritime Disasters from Sandy Hook to Execution Rocks, which was published in 1973, focused on shipwrecks in and near New York City from 1614 on. On East Hampton, Rattray published East Hampton History, including genealogies of early families in 1953, and Up and Down Main Street, an informal history of East Hampton and its old houses in 1968. In addition to her writing contributions, Rattray was extensively involved in the community. She was part of the East Hampton Ladies Village Improvement Society, participated in work at Guildhall, and was a member of the Board of Managers of the East Hampton Free Library. At the Women's Rights Day Gala in August of 1973, she was one of 5 women honored for her contributions to the East Hampton community. According to her New York Times obituary, Jeanette Edwards Rattray was a person of regional bearing, proper manners, and infinite curiosity. She was one of the best known and best informed women of the community, its unquestioned grand dame. So thank you again for tuning in. Join me next Thursday as I continue our East End Influential Women series. I'll be talking about Dr. Doris Zenger, the first woman doctor to practice medicine in East Hampton, and I'll see you soon.